What is cybersecurity from a developer point of view? Institute of Electrical Engineers. Institute of Electrical Engineers. Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, or the IEEE, most influential organization for computer networking and wireless communication. Date back to the 1884, began developing network architecture standards in the 1980s. 1997 release of IEEE 802.1 standard for wireless local area networks WLANs, higher speeds added in 1999 IEEE 802.11b. Wireless LAN Technical Standards, IEEE 802.11a, specifies maximum related speed of 54 Mbps using the 5GHz spectrum. IEEE 802.11g preserves stable and widely accepted features of 802.11b, increases data transfer rates similar to 802.11a. IEEE 802.11n, ratified in 2009, improvements in IEEE 802.11n, speed, coverage error, interference, security, wireless client network interface card adapter, performs same functions as wired adapter, antenna sends and receives signals. Wireless LANs attacks part 1. Access point, AP major pipe, antenna, radio transmitter, receiver sends and receives wireless signal. Bridging software to interface wireless device to other devices. Wired networks interface allows to connect by cable standard wire network AP function. Acts as a base station for wireless network. Wireless brand-bound router, single hardware device containing AP firewall router, TCP server. Wireless networks have been vulnerable targets for attackers, not restricted to a cable. Discovering the network. One of the first steps in attack to discover presence of a network. Beaconing. AP sends signals at regular intervals to announce its presence and provide connection. Wireless device scans for beacon frames. War driving. Attacks to the RF spectrum. Wireless protocol analysis. Generating interfaces. Wireless protocol analysis. Wireless traffic captured to decode and analyze packet content. Interfering network must be in correct mode. Attacks using the access points. Rogue access point. Evil twins. Rogue access point. Unauthorized access points that allow attackers to bypass network security configuration. May be set up to behind a firewall, opening the network to attack evil twins. AP setup by an attempt to mimic an authorized AP. Wireless network threats. Accidental association, malicious association, ad hoc networks, non-traditional networks, identity theft, MAC spoofing, man-in-the-middle attacks, denial of service, network injection. Wireless network security techniques. Uses encryption, use antivirus and anti-spyware software in the firewall. Turn off identifier broadcast. Allows only specific computers to access your wireless network. Change your router's present password for administration. Change the identifier on your router from the default. Mobile device security, the needs and concerns. In organizations, networks must accommodate growing use of new devices, significant growth in employees' use of mobile devices, cloud-based applications no longer run solely on physical servers and corporate data centers, deparameterization. There are multitude of network parameters around device, applications, users, and data. External business requirements. The enterprise must also provide guest, third-party contractors, and business partners networks access using various devices from a multitude of locations. Security threats. Lack of physical security controls, use of untrusted networks, use of untrusted mobile devices, use of untrusted applications, interaction with other systems, use of untrusted content, use of location services. Wireless Fidelity or Wi-Fi Alliance 802.11. First 802.11 standard to gain broad industry acceptance. Wireless Ethernet Compatibility Alliance or WCECA. Industry course formed in 1990 to address the concerns of products from different vendors successfully interoperating. Later renamed the Wi-Fi. Term used for 802.11b is Wi-Fi Cree as a whole. Has an extended to 802.11gg Wi-Fi Protected Access WPPW Wi-Fi Announced Certification Procedures for IEEE 802 Standard Securities. WPA incorporates all features of the IEEE 802 WLAN Security Specification. Wireless LAN Security Methods. Wired Equivalent Privacy WEP Algorithm 802.11 Privacy Wi-Fi Protected Access Set of security mechanisms that eliminates most 802.11 security issues and was based on current state of the 802.11i standard. Robust Security Network RSN, final form of the 802.11i standard. Wi-Fi Alliance certifies vendors in compliance with the 802.11 specification under the WPA2 program. Linux, created in 1991 by Linus Torvalds, has evolved into one of the world's most popular and versatile systems. Free, open source, available in a wide variety of distribution targets at almost every usage imaginable. Examples of distributions include Red Hat, Linux, conservative and commercially supported, Ubuntu, completely free, Linux, stripped down but hyperstable embedded version designed for use in appliances and consumer products. Linux security. The traditional Linux security model can be summed up quite succinctly. People or processes with root privileges can do anything. Others' accounts can do much less. From an attacker's perspective, the challenge in cracking a Linux system is gaining root privileges. Once the attacker gains root privileges, they can erase or edit logs, hide their processes, file, or directories, basically refine the reality of the system and as experienced by its administrators and users. Thus, Linux security and Unix security in general is the game of root takes. Linux DAC, discretionary access control. Linux security mode. In the Linux DAC, there are users, each of which belong to one or more groups, objects, files, and directories. Users read, write, execute the objects based on the object's permissions. Each object has 3 permissions: user owner, group owner, other, everyone else. Permissions are enforced by Linux kernel. Permissions. Prior to being executed, a program's file permissions restrict who can execute, access, or change it. When running, a process normally runs as the identity of the user and the group of the person or process that execute. If a running process attempts to read, write, or execute some of the other object, the kernel will first evaluate the object's permissions against the process's users and group identity. Whoever owns an object can set or change its permissions. The system super user account has the ability to take both ownership and change the permissions of all objects in a system.